What's going on, YouTube? It's your man King Bishop checking in with y'all. I am currently here at the house. Yeah. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm here at the house. Today is Sunday night. I've been home since Thursday. I picked up a load from Georgia, coming up here to Chesapeake, Virginia, and then I came home Thursday night. I was only about an hour and 15 minutes away from home after I dropped that load. So I came home that night. I went ahead and booked the load. That load picked up between Friday and Saturday. I went ahead and picked it up Friday. And so I've been home Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. I'll be home tonight and I'll leave out tomorrow. That load delivers in Columbia, South Carolina, tomorrow afternoon. It's a live unload. And I'm waiting for a load to confirm for me to take after that. So hopefully that load comes through, so I can continue with my plan for the week. If not, I'm gonna have to refine loads for the week. But anyway, I had someone ask me to explain a few things. One, why I chose Schneider. Two, what is the truck payments and things of that nature like. And after that, I guess I'll just give my overall opinion or my overall view. So one, let's start off with the easiest thing, my truck payment. I have a 2018 Freightliner Cascadia Evolution, which means it's not the new body style. It's the old body style. It is the 2018 though. When I got it, it had 1,340 miles. Right now, it has 4,609 miles I put on it. So it was a completely brand new truck. I'm the first driver to have it. The other miles are just transfer miles. It has a diesel APU. It is a D12 automatic transmission, and it has the DD15. So my payment right now is, I believe my actual payment is $978 a week, or $987 a week, and then I pay another $76 into maintenance every week, which is mandatory. Which my total payment is $1,057 every week. So that is my payment for my 2018 Cascadia through SFI, which is Schneider Finance. So for those of you who do not know how that works, that is the way it works. Even though they are owned, of course, by the same people, Schneider Finance and Schneider National operate as two different businesses. They have their own CEOs, and they're separate businesses. Legally on the books, they operate as separate businesses. So, which means you can get a truck from SFI and not work for Schneider. I mean, you can have, you see what I'm saying? So just because they are intertwined in a way, SFI and Schneider do operate as two different companies. And so another thing, the other question was, why did I choose Schneider? Well, I wanted to be a Schneider from the beginning. I hope that glare ain't too bad, y'all. But I wanted to be a Schneider from the beginning. When I first considered getting my first truck, I looked into Schneider first, which was in 2015. And the reason why I did not go with Schneider is because they were on a hiring freeze. Well, I believe Schneider was hiring, but SFI at the time was not leasing any more trucks. So they were on a freeze. So I could not come to Schneider. So I ended up having to go through Quality, which is the reason I ended up going to Interstate. But from the beginning, I wanted to go to Schneider because I understood that Schneider had the freight. I knew the one thing I wasn't going to have to worry about was whether or not Schneider had freight. So I did want to go through Schneider. I got hired by Schneider. I went through Schneider's process, but SFI was not leasing trucks. So that made it so that I could not go with my first truck and get it through them. So that's why. But the reason why I went with Schneider is, just like I said before, is there's a difference between customer freight and running load boards. And let me tell you what I mean. When you run for a company or carrier who does not have direct customer freight, and they are pulling freight off of load boards dry up. Sometimes it takes them a while. Sometimes you may not feel the brunt of it. But load boards are made for either shippers who do not have direct carriers who they work with, or it's for brokers who need to get loads moved from a shipper. But all that kind of stuff is really circumstantial because, say for instance, Walmart, like I've used this example before, but Walmart has 100 loads. And Walmart says, okay, well, we have a broker inside that makes sure all of our 100 loads gets done that need to be dealt with through outside carriers. So that broker says, okay, well, I deal with Schneider, I deal with Western Express, I deal with JB Hunt. I'm going to contact them first. I'm going to distribute these loads first to them. So now there are 8 loads left. I need to get them covered. None of the carriers I work with can cover them. Let me put them on a load board and see if I can get them moved. Well, do you think that those carriers who had a chance to pick from those loads at first did not already take the best of those available? Of course they did. So a lot of times when you're working these outside load boards, you are dealing with the scraps. And it doesn't mean that the scraps aren't great, because sometimes you'll get great loads. I had great loads off the load board. My issue is not getting a great load here and there. My issue is consistency. So the reason why I wanted to go with Schneider is because, as a person who has experience with just about every other load board that is out there, I was tired of dealing with brokers and calling about loads that were on the load board, but they were actually booked already. And then getting a load, and then finding out things are different, the details, the weight, the pickup time, and all that kind of stuff, because you are unimportant to that broker, because you don't work with them every day, so they lie to you. And those are the things I was tired of dealing with, negotiating rates with people who knew the freight was too cheap for it even to be reasonable. So they would rather return the freight to a customer before they give you the money that they could make off the load. I mean, a lot of these brokers are criminals. And so, and not all of them, but a lot of these brokers are robbing people, drivers blind. And so, in order to get rid of all of that, I wanted to go with a carrier. I wanted to lease to a carrier who had the freight to sustain the way I like to run in the areas I like to run, which is important because depending on where you live, Schneider might not be the company, or Western Express may not be the company, or JB Hunt. Well, it doesn't matter. Every major carrier has their area where they are a stronghold in. So depending on where you live, where you like to run, how much time you want to be at home may decide what carrier you go with. Because honestly, all of these carriers are fighting for the same freight. These are all the same customers. You know, Walmart is nationwide. Walmart is worldwide. But there's all these major carriers have contracts with Walmart. I mean, in Target and all this stuff. So you have to think about it that way, that instead of thinking about, oh man, this company has better freight, this one has worse freight. No, they all have the same freight. It's just how much of the pie are they giving to the driver and how much of it are they keeping for themselves. So the reason why I chose Schneider is because I knew that Schneider's load board was going to be customer freight only. That brokers weren't allowed to post on their load board. They weren't going to take broker freight. That you weren't going to have to call and deal with a broker. That the loads that are on Schneider's load board are already dealt with, negotiated by Schneider. The price you see on the load board is what you're going to get paid. There's no negotiation. Either you like it or you don't like it. If it's great, take it. If it's horrible, leave it. There's not going to be any conversation about it in between. I like that. And I've always liked that about Schneider's board. So, and honestly, if you're a driver from anywhere, then you know everywhere you go, you see Schneider trailers. Well, that means they have freight. That Schneider has taken, because you don't make money off a truck. You make money off a trailer, because you can have 100 trucks. If you don't have any trailers, you won't make any money. So if you have one truck can pull 2, 3, 4 trailers in a day, depending on where it's going. You see, so the truck is not the money, the trailer is. So you have to realize that when they have trailers sitting at a customer, that means that customer is providing enough for that trailer to stay operational enough to sustain it. So Everywhere you go, you see that. That means they have freight. That intrigues me. I want to go to a company where I can get my slice of the pie. It's not about trying to hit it big every week, every load, every day. What it's about is getting my cut, my slice, your cut of the pie. Um, and now I have been on Schneider's load board now for 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, 2 weeks, and it is what I expected. I'm getting a mixture of freight that's not so good with freight that is amazing, with loads that are not so good, with loads that are amazing, with rates that may be 80 cents a mile coming out of Texas or coming out of Florida to loads that are paying $3 a mile, $2 a mile, $5 a mile. It's all on the load board. So I'm getting what I wanted. And I will say this, though. I am intrigued to see how the board will change during the slow season, which we are approaching for dry van. And will I still be able to run the way I like to run in the areas that I like to run, and how that'll work. And then I'll be interested to see after the slow season, when it gets into peak season in the spring, of how the rates escalate based on the same running areas that I like to run. So I'm excited. I see here that I will be able to sustain myself and sustain the truck. We have some big goals that we're trying to reach. So I feel like this is a place that they can get done. I wish everything had worked out and I could have came here first. Even though I enjoyed my experience at Interstate, and I'm thankful for the opportunity that I got over there and the things that I learned, and the experience that I gathered, because it did prepare me for this. I feel like that if I was going to land back here anyway, it would have been a lot easier to be here 2 years ago than just starting now. So, as always, man, I just wanted to answer that question for one of the subs that asked about it. I appreciate y'all for watching, for comments, for subscribing. You guys are amazing. Y'all be easy. God bless y'all. Peace.